When you say, God, I love you, you know what he's going to ask you? Let me see what you can give up for me. So be careful when you want to say, God, I love you. We are used to fake love in this our wicked world, that we think we can play that politics with God. You don't come to him just faking tears and say, I love you. You can roll from left to right, from pillar to post. When you are done loving, he will tell you, all right, Simon Barjona, lovest thou me more than this? Do you love me more than ministry? Do you love me more than titles? There are people who would throw God away to protect ministry. There are people who would throw God away to protect their ego. I am a man of God. Apostle Joshua Selman. There are people who would throw God away. If their money is falling down, they would throw God and hold the money and say, God, you are a miracle worker, rise back. But this money, if it falls, I don't know if it will come back again. There are people who would throw God away and say, my pedigree, I went to school, I read XYZ. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the men and the women that God will do mighty things with in today's world are people who are dead to every other thing. The price for all of God is all of you. You've heard me say it. The price, listen, the price for all of God is more. You will need more than your brain for God to do business with you. The price for God is more than English and preaching. Oh dear one, it takes more than good English to put a generation at the command of heaven. We're discussing relationships now. I hope you know God can fight what he gave you. The moment what he gave you becomes an interruption to his place and his purposes in your life, it becomes his enemy, just like Satan. God created Satan and he still grants us the grace to perpetually defeat him. He's not forgotten that Satan is his creation, but because Satan has assumed a position where he perpetually cannot bring joy to God again, even though God's creation, he does not secure God's support again. It's important for you to know that God does not just initiate processes. He vets them periodically to find out that he's being glorified through them. And if he stops being glorified through those processes, his backing ceases, except by the mercy of God. So you will find many people being destroyed by what God gave them, and you'll be wondering, how could God give you a blessing that becomes a destruction? Saul, how could God make you a king and yet that position brings you shame and reproach again? How could you be the anointed cherub that covereth, a position God gave you, and yet your pride came as a result of that position? Just because God gave you does not mean it will automatically glorify him. You have to be intentional about using everything around your life to see that Jesus is glorified. Are we together now? Thou shalt love the Lord your God. Please look up. There are many believers today who ignore the issue of having a healthy relationship with God. When you say it like this, most believers think it is just a press into fanaticism. And they say, you know what, the way me I serve God, I'm not into all these gym Christianity, but my own God knows that me, I'm serious. You can never fake seriousness. Seriousness is so palpable, it should be known and detected, whether from afar and near. I'm prayerful, it's just that it's only God that knows. You are a liar immediately. Are we together now? Yes, sir. So many believers do not intend to take God seriously. They don't plan to throw him out of their lives, but they just want to keep him just at the minimum level, enough to hopefully secure life after death, in case, like an insurance, while they go around doing everything they want to do with their lives. And let me tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen, if you want God to honor you, you want to command power and relevance in our world today, in order of priority. This has nothing to do with Pentecostalism or whatever it is, you have to make up your mind. Please listen carefully. Make up your mind that you are going to go all out for God. Some of us, when we started, we did not start with a desire for ministry. We did not start with a desire for fame. In fact, we did not start with a desire for greatness. This journey started from a blind and a sincere pursuit. Lord, I love you. It's an opportunity and it's a privilege for me to be called your own. And while we pressed and gave God literally everything, he said, so this is how far you can go for me. Now let me show you how far I can go for you. Are we together? Do not covet the result of a genuine lover of God if and when you are not. God, why are you doing this to so person, so lady, so ministry? It is a reflection of the depth of their love for God. The Bible says no eye has seen. Are we still together? No ear has heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man what God has in store for them that. When you say, God, I love you, you know what he's going to ask you? Let me see what you can give up for me. So be careful when you want to say, God, I love you. We are used to fake love in this our wicked world, that we think we can play that politics with God. You don't come to him just faking tears and say, I love you. You can roll from left to right, from pillar to post when you are